we were disappointed as a group because it's one that we feel got away. We lost 3 balls over the try line, but we weren't good enough either. And I think we've all accepted that. We just off the money a bit. We're making silly errors and stuff that we've eradicated out of the game have come back. And we maybe do not play in 5 weeks, but it's important we fix that as quick as possible. Yeah, most certainly. The Stormers squad's very strong. We've seen they had a lot of development players playing against the Scarlets. They didn't change the way they played. They're really good at, their DNA is what it is, and they challenged the Scarlets a lot. I'm sure they'll have some internationals back this week because they're going to Europe. I think it's Clermont after us. So if it was me, you'd want them involved somewhere. So we're preparing for the best Stormers team to come back. They'll change potentially 8 players, which is a massive change. So we've got to be ready. It is different. They're a lot more line speed in defence. They play a bit more with their back line. The Lions are trying to evolve to that. When it got tough for the Lions, they went back to any typical South African DNA. They went physical, they went direct, and that's what the Stormers will bring as well. The more quality players we have in our group, the better we're going to be, obviously. We've got a few coming back next week for Europe. With a lot of our boys were involved in 3 or 4 match days, so it's important to get a week off. Because it's just the intensity that international rugby brings, not so much training because we all train quite intense, so the level's not too different day to day. The difference is they've got 6 weeks of doing it really intense. We've got to try and manage it through the rest of the year, but it's the mental stress that international rugby brings and the expectation, so it's important they get a week to recover from that, and then we'll get them back into the group. So Ashton's taken a big step forward this last week. He may not make this weekend, but hopefully we see him play on tour, so that's a big step forward. Leon's still in our progress this week of maybe. So, but they both, like Ashton specifically, has made a big step forward, and he's only 9 weeks post-op, so it's important he's around us because we give him the best treatment with the best physios, and we'll see where we get him this next couple of weeks. Spot on, and my biases will always do what's best for the player. I'm new as a head coach, but I've always been people's person first, and we'll each treat individual fairly and what's best for them. And I speak to Ashton this week, and it's when Ashton's back, we want him back. We don't just want him back for an injury, and when these boys are back, they're back. The squad seems pretty healthy. You can see obviously our back 3. We've had to adapt with asking Seal to do a shift for the team, and what a great person that he's willing to do it for us, and he's such a quality rugby player. Having him on the field helps certain areas of our game, and we may have to ask him to do it again this week.